last night's Thursday night football game. The Thursday night football game to kick off Week 15. Dynamite. What a game. Dynamite. We have now entered the part of the NFL season where regular season games, because they mean so much, an AFC West lead on the line. The winner of last night's game was going to emerge the leader of the AFC West with 3 games to play. So much on the line that when you get a game that is so filled with decision-making and drama and wild results, it feels like a playoff game. That felt like a playoff game last night. That felt like we just got a little glimpse, some juices flowing of what January is going to look like. Because that had a ton on the line last night. An absolute ton on the line last night on Thursday night. And we saw everything, certainly from the frightening moment of Donald Parham going down in the end zone. And by all accounts, he's in stable condition and okay. We'll see if there's any more information on that throughout our 3-hour show. But that finished up, in terms of football terms, 4 trips inside the 5-yard line by the Chargers with 0 points as Brandon Staley, the head coach, went for it. That was what my English teacher back in grade school would call a harbinger. That was letting you know they were just getting started on that front. As a matter of fact, the Los Angeles Chargers wound up last night running 11 plays from inside the Kansas City Chiefs 5-yard line without a single point being scored. They ran 11 plays inside the 5-yard line before their 12th play inside the 5-yard line was finally a touchdown, but they had to earn that by intercepting Patrick Mahomes inside his own 5-yard line because they turned it over on downs twice before fumbling it on that 11th play inside the 5-yard line. The Chargers had 3 turnovers inside the Chiefs' 5-yard line last night, 2 of them on downs, 1 of them on a fumble. And yet the fumble led to them getting their 12th such attempt a couple of plays later because Mahomes appeared to be having an off night. Couldn't have been more off when he and the Chiefs went inside the Los Angeles 5-yard line and couldn't score. They went for it on 4th down, and Mahomes had a wide open receiver and nobody in his face, and he just threw it like he was throwing it with his feet. It was wild last night how many times both teams kept going for it on 4th down inside each other's 5-yard lines. Like an actual game last night was played, full actions worth of game, full game's worth of action inside each other's 5-yard lines last night. You could have removed the 5 to the 5 at one point last night and been told the story of the entire game until the 4th quarter and things went on tilt. And Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce was doing all what we have expected the Chiefs to do all year long. I told you yesterday my concern for the Chiefs was Chris Jones being out. And sure enough, the Chargers came up with 190-plus rushing yards last night as a team. They almost put 2 bills on the ground on the Chiefs and were inside the Chiefs' 5-yard line 4 different times and only scored once. And they still lost the game. And they still lost the game in which Herbert was just on point in the 4th quarter. And they still lost the game, as I mentioned, in a remarkable running performance. But Travis Kelce showed up in a way that has been way too sight for sore eyes for Kansas City Chiefs fans. And now the Kansas City Chiefs have a 2-game lead in the AFC West with 3 games to play. And now is when everybody needs to take a moment and realize what's happening in the AFC. And what's happening in the AFC is this Kansas City Chiefs team that started in a way that we have not seen them play, falling beneath 500 twice before finally getting above 500 and putting the pedal to the metal. And as the rest of the league is playing their Week 15 games in the AFC, there's only one 10-win team, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a Kansas City Chiefs team that has made the AFC Championship 3 years in a row, that has made the Super Bowl the last 2 years, and now I think everybody is coming to focus, I think, as to why I spent the first 2 months of the season saying, don't count these guys out. Mahomes had 400 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and 32 rushing yards of his own, including a 32-yard run. So he had 2 rushes for not so much, and then 1 that was huge, and Mahomes was having an off night. All you got to do is take a look at what was going on in everybody's Twitter feed all night long, and it was a bad night for Mahomes. Until it wasn't. Look out. Look out, folks. As the Chiefs, the rest of the way, have the Steelers at home and then 2 road games to wrap things up at the Bengals. And then, interestingly enough, the last game of the year is at Denver. Everybody remembers that's where Mahomes first wet his beak a little bit. Yep, the team that started 1-2 and then 2-3 and then 3-4. That team has now won 7 in a row. Look out. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.